you hang on to this, I'm going to go score some more microphones. All right, here we go. Are we all live? All right. So I want to ask one question just to get things started here with 3 microphones in my hand, then I'll pass these off. Something that struck me the very first frame out of the gate and stayed with me was the cover art for the books and all the sort of little nuanced details that I've loved in your films all the way through, and I wanted to find out where that comes from. Is that your work, or do you work with somebody in particular to create that?
That was Richard Wright, our production designer. He's here. Stand up, Richard, wherever you are. Right there. Yeah, he put that together, man. He did an amazing job. He and a buddy of his did the opening title sequence, and we actually shot that after the film, just with stuff that we found. But he did that amazing title sequence.
So I'm gonna field some questions out into the audience. First, before we do that though, little ground rules. I don't know if you've been to an Alamo or Fantastic Fest event before. We have a couple simple rules in Q&A. First, the first rule: it must be a question. All right, so you can say something, and then so it has to be something that expects an answer. Okay, that's the first one. And then we'd really love them to be the most awesome, smartest questions ever. So make our city proud. Okay, anybody have anything that falls within those criteria? You, sir, with a question.
Jared, this is the second time you've worked with one half of a comedic folk duo, previously being Jack Black. Do you find that that Jermaine and Jack have different acting sensibilities because they don't necessarily come from a world of big money Hollywood movies?
I don't know how to answer that. It's a good question though.
Do you mean we can't act?
To answer your question, they're both, talking about Jermaine because he's here. I was very fortunate to work with people that are really fun to collaborate with. Jermaine being one of those guys. And Jack too. So they're very fun people. A lot of directors, I think, before they make a movie, end up calling other directors that have worked with the people that you're considering for a part, and you kind of want to find out if they're a douchebag to work with or not. And Jermaine, I didn't know who to call, but I had lunch with him, and he's one of the nicest guys in the world. As with everybody on the cast, we were very fortunate. Mike and Sammy. Anyway.
Cool. We got, I thought I saw a hand up there. Sir. Or am I looking in the wrong row? We got a hand back in the back? Or was I still looking there? Yeah, up front row. Here you go, sir.
First of all, Jermaine, it's a crime you didn't take the Emmy home.
Thank you.
My question is, can we get a glimpse of what your speech might have been?
Would have been something like, yes! Sucked, Alec Baldwin! Sucked! Alright, we got a question back there. You, sir. You eager gentleman.
Awesome film. I was going to ask you, what were some of the inspirations for the movie in your life?
So the question is, if you couldn't hear that in the back, is that inspirations for the movie? I believe so.
I think as a little kid, I thought I wanted to do like special effects. So for Christmas, my mom would get me like those big Industrial Light and Magic books and stuff. But I've been a big fan of sci-fi, my whole life. Those are the movies that I was into, and the movies that I wanted to make. But I as you can see, not very at pulling them off, in the way that Ridley Scott and some of the other sweet names do it. But I'm a huge fan, and definitely, I kind of hoped with this film that it would kind of celebrate some of the more humorous aspects of cult science fiction films.
Can you talk a little bit about the working relationship between you and your wife, and what that process is like working together?
I'll let Trish talk.
I cry a lot. No, we just we We wrote with Mike too, and I think we eat a lot and we took a lot of naps on couches, and you know, we write a little bit here and there, and it's fun. You get to go home and take care of your babies afterwards, but it's pretty great writing together.
I agree.
And I want to sort of follow up on that, and this is a question for Jermaine. As far as the dialogue that you were saying in the film, was that all in the script, or was there some free-flowing coming out of it as well?
Sometimes I have trouble remembering lines, and so they end differently. But there was also a bit of ad-libbing, but also these guys will come up and sort of ad-lib in their direction. They'll say, this time, say, talk about a centaur. Okay, action. or they'll have, I didn't see all of the movie, but like the whole bit about the film. I'm a big fan, though. I'm a big fan. Did the bit about the colostrum make it into the film? Okay, so that was a line that they came up with when we were shooting, and they would sort of whisper it in my ear, the lines. I have to remember it, and then try and get through it, because it would make me laugh as well. So I ad-libbed a little bit, and they also ad-libbed.
And I want to ask Sam a question too. So now you've been in the two greatest sci-fi films of the year. Was Bronco a fully fleshed out character before you got to him, or did you add some of your own male bravado into that role?
Bronco was just some stereotypical hillbilly that we kind of put together, you know. It was just, I don't know how it came together. We just came up with these funny voices. Jermaine actually recorded my lines for Brutus, and I was going to do that, try to imitate his voice, and then we just, I don't know what happened. We just started messing around.
You started doing what you did.
We do a British accent for a while, then we just came up with those voices.
I took a long time making that CD, Sam.
You did. I didn't. Oh, really? Oh, that's right.
So we got a question right here.
Sam, as far as your, as a character choice, did your character choose the right balls after all?
More of the story. Question for the upper deck. Was the right testicles? Did he grab and sew the right testicles?
I guess he got, and then some, right? He got a few testicles. He's got a few for later, extra. I think so. I think he's covered.
It seems like the kind of guy who would pick the right testicle off the shelf. I don't just didn't see much, but I like what I saw.
I think you were looking for the healthiest ones, if they were yours or not.
Another question, not about testicles, okay? We're gonna have two testicle questions in a row.
Did you consider the existential angst of showing deer shooting back to Texans?
Existential angst, deer shooting back to human beings in the state of Texas, with specific reference to this premiere.
Mike, you want to answer that?
What?
It was not my idea, but as a vegan, I would represent deers 1, Texans 0. It's all good. Kill those deer.
Got a question here on the aisle, sir.
What is it about 80s technology in particular that you really love? I mean, this camcorders, it's scientific calculator watch, those details.
I guess it's just stuff that I grew up with. Some of my first films were made with, the home video camera, and it's a format that I'm used to, I guess.
So I had heard some stories about when the press was going around about Napoleon Dynamite. It was about a legendary little black notebook about ideas and nuggets and anecdotes of your past life. Has this continued? For example, did you shoot your mom in the boob with a blowgun? I mean, are these based on your own?
My mom and dad are right here. My mom, she did make popcorn balls balls. My mom's name is Christmas, and her company was called Christmas's Country Corn. It's real good, man. I think there's gonna be some of that tonight at the party. I don't know if it's her recipe, but yeah, apparently there's gonna be some Judith's Country Balls there.
Yeah, so those coming to the party, there is going to be a build your own country ball edible station. We've got some instruction, and it's, I don't know what you used, ma'am, but it was sort of a melted down marshmallow complex that we're using at the theater. Is that what you used?
That's where I started from. My mom taught me that.
Okay, but the rest is trade secret. We can't know about that. Okay, fair enough.
But I did not shoot my mom in the chest with a dart.
Oh, that was the question. Yes, okay, so we got a no for that.
Real quickly before I forget, I just want to give a shout out to David Wingo, our composer for Film Stand Up. David, stand up. He's an Austin native. One of your boys in the music film. John Kelly was our producer. John Kelly, stand up. Crystal, his wife, was our accountant. Stand up, Crystal. Give a wave. And Duff Rich was our production supervisor. They make it to the back. Oh, and Mun Pal. Oh, crap. Mun Pal, our director of photography.
So it's not fair that you haven't had the opportunity to answer a question. No, no, I'm going to rectify the situation. I'm going to ask you a question. So do you have any sort of wonderful, crazy, odd anecdotes that happened on the set? Anything that might be embarrassing to anybody else on the stage right now?
Let's see.
Let me tell you something about Michael. He had just got done shooting this like Jackie Chan Jet Li movie when we started filming. And so homeboy is like a disciple of the Chan. It is sweet. He can do all kinds of crazy kung fu junk. And anyway, every day at lunch he'd entertain us with his bow staff abilities. But Jet Li beat the crap out of him apparently when they were filming.
Gave me a black eye.
He did. Anyway, I just had to say that. It was pretty awesome. Especially when he was chopping that tumbleweed in the dumb scene. He was doing it really good, like it was a katana blade. I was like, dude, you gotta dumb that down, man. But he was really,
Jared is like the best, he's like the most amazing guy. So he'll come up to you every once in a while and be like, dude, your freaking arm looks huge right now. Don't swing that thing like the Chan, dude.
I gotta give another shout out real quick. Sorry. Jerusha's brother Sam, stand up Sam, he did all the weird Chevalier artwork in the film. And I'm sure if you would like a portrait of your family as cyborg Harpies, he would do it happily.
Sam's also the model for the book cover.
Oh yeah, he's the guy that Jermaine is painting for the book cover.
So I think we probably have time for a couple more questions. I see one here down over on the right.
What was up with that house?
The house, the geodesic dome.
The geodesic dome. You know, we found it. A friend of ours, our editor actually, Yuka Rule, she couldn't be here tonight, but she's got a bun in the oven and can't travel. But she actually grew up in a geodesic dome home. I don't know, I always wanted to live in one as a kid. I just thought it would be I kind of lived out my fantasy, I guess, through the film.
If you ever make the drive between here and Dallas, there's a geodesic facility where you can see, it's loved by some. There's a giant centipede made of geodesic homes and also a Starship Enterprise. It's really, it's worth the trip. All right, so, got a question right here.
Yeah, definitely. I think you know, when Drew and I are writing, we try and know specifically how the character should sound and what they look like and that kind of a thing. And then, you know, you start kind of trying to decide who's going to best bring that to life. And for this film, it was a lot of fun because we, you know, everybody ended up exceeding my expectations as far as like what the characters were, you know, going to be. And it was so much fun to be able to collaborate with Mike and Sam and Mike and Jermaine and everybody in the film. Yeah, I mean, you totally try to find people with, you know, that share the same sensibility. It just makes the creative process a lot more fun, and I think, you know, a lot more magic happens when it's that way.
Is that worth repeating on the microphone?
No. Okay. That was off the record.
All right, so we got one more question. You look really eager. All right, here we go.
This is for Sam Rockwell. At the beginning of the movie, Dionysus, he was the clones of himself, and also your character Moon ended up being a victim of clone technology, and I was just wondering what your thoughts on clone technology was.
That's the best question I've ever heard.
But I like your beard. I wish my beard could clone your beard. That's good. Cloning is just fucked up, I think. That's all I can say. I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Especially for finance, you know.
Well, I think there's really nothing more to be said, is there? So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.